The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Hump Day! You're listening live to Hanging with the Boys. You're looking live. Screwed that all up.
No, you
live
did great.
at Tostitos Championship Plaza outside Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, Texas, where it is 86 and fair. The high today is 90. The low tonight is 67.
We missing a double dipper. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, our show theme is "We'll do things for money."
Yes, sir.
Nate is the captain of that.
Yes, sir.
I'll say I'm the co-captain, but Nate
He's
is
the president.
he is the El Presidente. Nate is not with us. It wouldn't be a hump day without my boy Kurt. 2 humps,
3 pumps.
3 pumps, 2 humps. Daniels, Shannon Gross, Chris Beams keeping up live and local in the back. I am Salt and Pepper Poppy. Together we make Hanging with the Boys, the sports talk equivalent of Braille. People feel us when we speak.
Brought to you each and every day by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. What you doing on this side, Kurt? You decided to come over to the dark side?
I was told to sit where I.
Why are you over here on the?
I sit where I'm told.
You leaving your boy over there on an island?
Nah, they were trolling yesterday. I don't know, but they might have teamed up.
You know what? I thought about that later. I'm like, yeah, they need to go to a Super. There ain't no way Mike's coming back. So.
They said 9-8 and no playoffs.
He stuck to it.
Man,
He polled everyone in the hall from here.
He was trying to get some support.
He was.
He wasn't getting any.
He was. He looked defeated, and we had to tell him. He called me after the show. After he talked about it 85 times in the hall, he did not know what trolling was.
He didn't.
He thought trolling was when you hit the follow button and followed somebody on X. He thought that was trolling. So he was like, when Jesse said, "You trolling?" He's like, "Man, I already follow you. Like, what are you talking about?" So it bothered him so bad. He called me an hour after the show. Was like, "Man, I learned something today."
That's hilarious. and it was so sincere. Like in the hallway, he's like, "Man, I ain't know what trolling meant. You said I was trolling in there. I ain't know what you were talking about."
Oh man,
That's our guy, man.
He got no support for
No, he did not.
9-7 and not winning a playoff. Yeah, you gotta win a playoff game. But I can see where he's coming from, because if the season continues the way it is,
Well, all the cards are stacked against him. That's the only thing.
right?
You know.
The injuries and and all this that's happened, and I got a new defensive coordinator and
the
blah blah
off-season
blah.
moves and,
But you got to think the person that's in charge of all these things that are preventing you from winning more than 9 games is also the one that has you on a 1-year contract. That's like,
But if it was just the injuries,
yeah.
if it was just injuries, then that's different.
Yeah.
If the losses were competitive,
Yes.
right?
That's the
then
big
it's
thing.
different, right? If we got to the end of this year and we looked up and the Cowboys had 8 losses, let's just use Nate's numbers for example, and they had 8 losses, and all those losses was within 1 to 4 points, and you can attribute that to, boy, if we didn't have a large majority of our roster in those situations, then maybe.
Yeah.
Because then you can say to yourself, wow, boy, if we go into free agency really this time and go all in and really get this thing going, get our guys back healthy, our younger players that Jerry talked about having struggles, take the next step, we could have something. Mm-hmm. But it's not just the injuries. And what's, not to speak it into existence, but what's about to start happening is you're already losing the effort battle, but now you're going to start seeing guys really turn you off. And that's the biggest part, is I can't bring a guy back here next year that they turned off.
Yeah.
If the players begin to give off that vibe, and they don't have to say anything. You can walk into a room, you can be in a space, and you can see when the energy's off, when guys no longer believe the things that you're saying. And that's the biggest part about sometimes when you have to fire coaches is if you've lost the locker room, if guys no longer, and it's visible. When I can watch a game and I know certain guys and I know certain attributes and attitudes, and those aren't shining through, you've lost them.
We all, when Wade Phillips got fired, we all saw that last game.
You saw
it was
it.
obvious on the field, but did you get that sense leading up to it that it was already?
Yeah. Yeah. Because we felt it. You felt it. Guys begin to feel it. Guys start hunting for stats. Mm-hmm. The YOLO ball, the hero ball that we keep hearing about. Mm-hmm. Like that, guys were doing more of that. It was, I'm not getting hurt. And this is the honest to God truth. As the year went on, guys started saying to themselves, not to themselves, but openly, about I don't want to get hurt. Because if I get hurt, when this thing is all over, I can't leave. Like I physically can't leave. I got to stay here and do treatment. I got to stay here and do rehab. So guys, that was a portion of it. Those guys who had 1 year left, who's on 1 year deals, were saying, I can't get hurt because I want to go into free agency healthy.
Right.
So guys start looking and those other guys were like, well, I'm a buck the scheme and try to go get a sack or or jump routes or guess routes and try to get an interception and throw me the ball and those type of things. That was the mentality, because guys looked at the writing on the wall and was saying, this won't be the same next year, and I need to go get mine to either be re-signed here under the new coach or give myself the ability to hit the free market and be healthy and have some stats to go and say, hey, give me a contract. Yeah. And when you lose a locker room like that, it makes it very difficult to bring a guy back to coach.
Speaking of locker room,
yeah,
you want to talk about your big article on ESPN that you read?
It was a big article. It's gotten a lot of buzz here today.
We've talked about it on the show before. Mm-hmm. Let's get back into it a little bit before we get into X's and O's. What was your article?
Well, ESPN ran a story today. They had a reporter basically go on a tour or two of our facility.
Do you think she came by our show?
It's probably one of the ones
Maybe.
Nate harassed.
Well, it sounds like at least once she came through on a Saturday. But anyway, the story was about how the tours and I guess to a larger degree just all of the stuff surrounding the Cowboys is distracting and it's hurting the effort on the field. And so they had quotes from former players, including some that went on the record, Jaron Curse, Dorrance Armstrong, Pollard, I think they're Fowler, saying that, now that we're in this other team, it's all about the football, and you don't feel like an animal in a zoo with people coming by and staring and whispering and all this kind of stuff. And so it's got a lot of buzz. Like I said today, it's just kind of one more thing on the stack of negativity surrounding the season. Yeah. And it's another reason people are pointing to and saying, oh, this is another reason why the Cowboys aren't
now look
this year.
So I have an opinion on this.
Yeah.
Jesse does too. If you tell me that a tour walking through this building affects how you perform on game day, then you got a lot more issues as a player than a tour walking through this building. Now, correct. What it does is it presents a perception, and they're right. The perception's right. This is an entertainment brand. Mm-hmm. This is not just a football brand. You go to Pittsburgh, that's a football brand. You go to the game, you hear a rock band on the plaza, and before the game it shuts off. And if they lose, you don't hear music on the plaza, right? Our plaza, you don't know if we won or lost, right? Because it's an entertainment brand, and Jerry will tell you that he's here. He wants people to have a good time when they come to the game.
And he was very open about it in this. He's like, we're here to let the fans in and make money.
Now, the perception as a player, you're going from the lunchroom to work out, and here comes a group of 30 people walking through your office.
You watch our show. If you just watch this window
Yeah.
back here, they come through it like
Right.
the
Yeah.
people that walk by this window. On the other side of this wall is a ceiling to floor glass that looks out where? To the practice field.
Right.
That's coming from where? The lunchroom. That's coming from where? The locker room, the meeting room, the training room, the weight room area. So when y'all see those people that we stop and we go, hey, y'all, hey, they are either coming from or headed to the areas where all the players dwell.
And if you happen to be going through at a time where they're in transition, you get to see those players.
Yep.
You get to see the coaches. So the flip side to that is if you have often asked yourself, like I'm sure a lot of our fans do, you haven't won a championship in 30 years. How do you stay so relevant? There you go. Access. You get access here like you get nowhere else. Yeah. You can't walk through. You couldn't, up until a few years ago, you couldn't go out on the playing surface of another football field because that's where they play football. Now everybody's doing it. Everybody's giving tours of, they even do it on grass fields now, like at the Rose Bowl and stuff, where they give tours because one, it opens up access to fans and lets you get that extra connection. You know, it's a revenue generator. There's always going to be these things because Jerry's into making money. Jerry likes to make money, right? And he also likes to expose fans to things that you can't necessarily. The Cowboys Club. You can go join the Cowboys Club for a
nominal
small fee,
Small.
and it's like a country club without a golf course. Your golf course is the practice field. Right. You bring clients up there, you have lunch, you go out and smoke cigars on the patio, and you watch the Cowboys practice. Who else is doing that in pro sports? Now, guess what? They're starting to do that with the Spurs down in San Antonio. They have a club there. There's other clubs that are popping up. But
sidebar, if you think Bill Belichick is coming here and folks get to go out on that rooftop and smoke a cigar while he practicing, I'm telling y'all got another thing coming. Go back to
he would have, unlike AT&T Stadium, he would have black curtains on those windows during practice hours.
Conniption if that happened.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's just part of it, man. That's what it. But does it affect the football? Is this brand all about football? 100% no. It's about entertainment, right? Does it affect Sundays and Thursdays and whatever days we play on now? I find it hard to believe if you're a professional athlete that distracts you. Is it a talking point where you can say, yeah, I felt like a caged animal in a zoo? Is it going to affect how many reps you get in or how much you can deadlift or what you do on Sunday? I find that very hard to believe.
No, and I agree with you 1,000%. If that is your means of distraction, then football is not your thing, not at the pro level. But what it opens up is, you mentioned it. You said this is a entertainment space.
Right.
So if I'm dwelling in this space and I'm seeing the revenue generated in this space, well, I get my business back too. And now I start wanting to do this. This is where the 53 brands come into play. That affects what you do on Sunday. That affects your attention span throughout the week.
Because you see these things and you realize I can capitalize on this too, right?
And honestly, like depending on the mood or the year, whatever, Jerry wants you to get in that kind of business. Like we've seen the way it has
clear
helped.
eye view stuff with Jalen, right?
Yeah,
like,
we've seen the way that it has helped other people grow businesses and other people be able to profit off those things, off their, they're not college, but their name, likeness, in the name, image, and likeness on the pro level. But you are in this building and you're seeing how things are done in this building. It breeds business. Entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And so guys want to go out now and be a part of that. I know that there's some companies throughout this area that they hire players to come out and do their autograph signings. Those are part of their packages. You come do a tour at the stadium or at the practice facility. So like it's all within that. And so the tours itself isn't a big enough distraction to equate to it not being a good brand on the football field. The environment in which you're around all day long makes you want to do more things outside of football that may take your time, energy, and efforts away from the things that will help you on Sunday because you're looking around all day long. And I remember Chris brought it up one time. I think it was like, what was it, like $52 a ticket to go on a tour?
The cheapest is $40, and it goes up
40.
from there. I mean, it's
right, depending on. So you're talking about.
They make $10 million in a year on tours from.
Is that what the article said?
Star and the stadium combined, they make $10 million.
Wow.
$10 million for people to walk through here. Like if I'm as a player, I'm like, I need to be in on that. I need some of that bread too. So I think, again, the tours itself doesn't equate to bad football. The 53 brands do.
Well, there's two quotes that kind of stood out to me. One was from Curse, who I guess he's retired now, but
J-Ron Curse?
yeah, he said it's not a reason why we didn't get over the hump, but I just don't think it equates to winning. Like you said, they're getting their minds elsewhere. And then Jordan Lewis pretty much said exactly what you did. He said, football players, we are some of the most mentally tough people in the world. Supposedly, you challenge a man's will every single snap. So if the tours are a problem for you, that's going to carry on in other aspects of your game. Like if you can't
block that out.
You can't block out the tours, and you can't focus on what
Yeah.
you're doing during the game.
Yeah. But again, the tours aren't from a player's perspective because this didn't just happen. Even back when I was in Valley Ranch, there was always something going on.
There's always a celebrity. There's always a VIP rolling through the locker room. Something's going on.
You know, Ben DiNucci was tweeting out about this morning. Like, yeah, I was working out on a Tuesday morning and, you know, people are tapping on the glass. I remember working out one Tuesday morning. Tiger Woods walks in. Tiger Woods and Tony Romo walk into the weight room to get a lift in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's hard not to be
you know what I mean?
distracted.
Like,
That's kind of like, okay, wait a minute.
like literally, you're sitting. I'm sitting on the ground with a group of us, and we're doing abs. And you look up, and it's Tiger Woods. And then you go back in the weight room, and him and Tony, he got 315 on the bench. Bah, bah. You're like, that's Tiger Woods.
Who's your athlete? Because when you're in this environment so much, you just get numb to being around important people and athletes and celebrities. Is there anybody that you've actually kind of been like, all right, that's kind of cool? Or
from the pro in college, it was meeting Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Right. When Michael Jordan walked, the first time I met him, we were in the weight room. Oddly enough, he walked in and. Like you hear Reggie Miller talk about, like they call him Black Jesus. It felt, I don't know what Jesus feels like when he walks into
it's
a
just
room.
an aura, right?
It felt like Jesus walked in the room.
Yeah.
The room changed. It changed for this 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid to watch Michael Jordan and however tall you think he is, when he walks in the room,
He's taller.
He's bigger. He's Goliath. It feels like when he walked into the room, and you're like, "Oh my God, that is a Michael Jordan." And so he's always been the one. I mean, for me,
Anybody after when you were grown or in the league or anything that you met that you were like, not really starstruck, maybe starstruck, but at least like, that's pretty cool. I'm glad I got to meet that person.
I gotta think about it. I met so many people. Like, that's another advantage of being a Dallas Cowboy.
Yeah.
Like, whether you're here or whether you're away, there's a group of people that come together, and you get a chance to be around those people. I gotta think about it, man.
Think about it.
Think about it on the break.
That'd be a good one. All right, let's speaking of breaks, let's take our first break. We'll get into some football when we come back. Cowboys offense versus 49ers defense when we come back on Hangin' with the Boys.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy classic wings, sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
This is Nate Newton from Hangin' with the Boys, and Wingstop is here to bring the flavor to game day as the official wings of the Dallas Cowboys. Order now by downloading the Wingstop app or ordering online at wingstop.com.
Hey, Cowboys fans, the 2024 football season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Cowboys football games or to any other live event, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
Hey, Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle?
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together. We cry together, and we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to Hangin' with the Boys.
Welcome back to the second segment of Hanging with the Boys, brought to you each and every day by blockchain.com. Thank you, blockchain.com. Kurt.
Yay, what?
Hey. Get ready for the ultimate game day experience. Thanks to 7-Eleven, you could win a VIP experience to the Cowboys. Speaking of access, you can win a VIP experience to the Cowboys versus Bengals Showdown on December the 9th. Just text Cowboys VIP to 711 for your chance to win premium club tickets, sideline passes, travel, and more. Don't miss out. Enter now. No purchase necessary. Ends on 11/20. Must be 18 or older in the U.S. D.C. Void where prohibited. Message and data rates may apply. Visit bit.ly/go711711 for full details and non-text entry.
All you got to do is text, and you get access.
Yeah.
You have a chance to get access behind the scenes.
We got people asking about your shirt, man. I want one.
This was shout out to
we all got one, didn't we?
Yeah, Emilio. This Emilio.
I like the way it washes. It kind of starts getting a little distressed. Mine's still like in sticker mode.
Yeah,
still kind of tight.
His daughter, she made these for us.
That's right. Yeah.
I told him we need to get some updated ones because our logo has changed.
Yeah.
So you gotta tell
I need to wear mine this
you gotta
week.
tell your daughter that we need some more of these. But yeah.
Speaking of, before we get back into football,
Or maybe I should start printing them out and selling them.
Hey,
I mean,
entrepreneur.
Everybody else making money.
That's
around here,
right.
You know
Get
what I
in
mean?
on the action.
Start that brand going.
That cease and desist letter will come so
real
quick.
quick. That Derek text
Man,
will come. What's this all about?
Man, that Derek text would come so quick.
Anytime you say, "Hey, stop by my office after the show," I'll stop by before. No, go have a good show.
go ahead.
I'll talk to you. Well, I'm not getting fired because he's let me actually go on the show.
No, that's football protocol. Practice.
Go do the
and
work.
Then we'll cut you afterwards.
Get a full day's worth of work in.
I don't want you to be distracted before I fire you.
Yeah, go ahead and get what done we need to get done.
Listen, shout out to Derek Eagleton. That text will come so quick.
But I remember we were talking about sideline passes.
He'll do it so smoothly. So tell me about.
Oh, Derek's the.
Oh,
dude.
he'll.
He is the most. I admire. I would just sit back and watch. You know, he was like national or state debate champ at
I believe
University
that.
of Texas.
Oh, I believe it.
And his negotiating
I believe
skills
it.
and the way that he can let you manipulate yourself without you
You're
even
gonna
knowing.
tell him yourself.
Oh yeah, like
And then he's gonna be like,
with a few words, he can get exactly what he and I used to walk out of his office sometimes and go, "I'll be damned! I went in there, I was
Had your plan.
standing on the table for
you
this.
can't win an argument.
No.
He'll have you all jumbled up.
And if
beforehand.
you stump him when he goes, you know what? That's a good point. You know, let me think about that. That means you got him. That means you got him. So if you can get him, it doesn't happen very often, but you can get him every once in a while.
You've already told. He should work for the FBI or something like that. You know, when the
Maybe
feds
he does.
When the feds come, when the feds come for you, the case is already closed.
Oh yeah.
They just now who's doing the time. We already got the evidence.
The feds are not coming after you if they don't have
they're not local
They got
police.
like a 90-something% win rate.
Yeah, they're not the local police, and none of us have enough money to fight the feds.
But talking about
That's funny. I just looked up debate champions UIL.
Mm-hmm. 1990-91, number one in 4A Lincoln Douglas debate, Derek Eagleton, Crosby High School. There you go.
Yeah, you're not winning that. You're not winning the argument.
Nah,
with
you
boss
ain't
on
winning that, bro.
Nah, bro. You're about to take your punishment.
That is
That
is a good skill set to have as an executive. How to be
and he's
very,
so calm too.
Very
He
diplomatic. Yes.
Doesn't yell. Doesn't use foul language, and just you leave out his office. You're like, damn, he got me.
Mm-hmm. He's good. He's good. Good for you, Derek. Good for you. There's your flowers.
Here's something funny. I looked up who finished second. The person who finished second is now a lawyer in Houston.
See?
There you go. There you go. Speaking of sideline access, that's another thing that could be known as a distraction.
Now that is a distraction
on game day.
That's a distraction.
There's a lot of people down there.
I know they've over the years they've called that back, especially after starting with COVID. But we were the original. The Cowboys were the original, I guess, had the original influencer program before social media because
Jerry coming down there. No,
yeah, well, he would have Chris Christie, the governor of New York, would be Jersey on the sideline, and you look up. There's the Undertaker, and there's this person, and now
Conor McGregor.
Now that was while there was social media, but even before social media, those people were coming to games and coming down, and now it's. People want people to come down, right? Like see all the teams, they're putting it on their social channels, they're doing content with them. But the Cowboys were like the low key, like you would just look up and it would be like, oh wow, that's the president. Yeah. That's the former president over there with like
that's Hugh Hefner.
Yeah, no big deal. It's like now you kind of know. Like you would hear if LeBron was coming, you would hear if Conor McGregor was coming, but back then you would just look up and it'd be like, oh wow, that's the guy from John Burtnall from the Punisher series that no one has a clue who he is. He's a Washington fan and he's in his Commanders jersey, and you have to actually be looking for him to realize that he's part of the crowd. That's always been around, and that's actually, I imagine as a player, that's a cool thing too. Is like looking up during warm-ups and it's like, oh my God, that's the Undertaker. Like I have to go say hi. Like, but you also need to be warming up.
That's what I'm saying. That's the part too. You look up, you're like, is that Pam Anderson? Is that Is that what I'm saying? Maybe some hot chicks over there. You'd be like, damn, okay, all right, let me lock it. Oh, Coach, I got you, Coach. No, that can be a distraction at times.
Yeah. So, but hey, all part of the entertainment.
I remember when Conor McGregor was here, like at that, like pregame.
Cannot throw a football, by the way.
Cannot throw a punch.
Yes.
And then, like that game, guys had got like an interception or turnover, and everybody was doing the Conor McGregor walk. So, like that happened because before the game,
right?
But that's just how people feel about Jerry. He's doing a pregame, face off with Jake Paul and
Mike
Tyson, and then we go and get.
Outside of football, they're selling it because it's at the stadium, and I guess that's the perception of it's not about football. But when you kick off, all that stuff's secondary. You hope. Yeah. Man, we basically wasted another segment on non-football stuff. Let's get into some football before we take a break.
We can talk about their defense in the next break.
Yeah, let's just talk about their deep. We know listen, there's not a whole lot to say about our offense. We've had 2 weeks to sit on it, and I think we talk about it daily. The offensive line's not really good right now.
But I am interested, offensive line-wise, I'm interested, and I'll monitor, but not monitor, but monitor, as Jerry would say.
That was very Jerry speak.
That's what he said one day. Like, we monitor, but not monitor, but monitor. Going forward, who is going to be your left tackle?
Yes, long term.
There's been little kind of, murmurs around the building. At first it was,
this is our guy, we're sticking with him. And now you're starting to hear a little.
You think so? Man, first round pick. I figured they'd just keep running him out there.
But then because if you think back to the Detroit game, he was a healthy scratch. He didn't show up on the injury report.
Are you sure? I thought he wasn't on the injury report, but I thought he wasn't totally ready or something.
You're not on the injury
That's
report.
what they said. They said he wasn't quite ready to go, but he was dressed.
It wasn't a limited. It wasn't a rest day. Like nothing.
Right.
Didn't he dress? Did he dress that game, Chris?
Yeah.
He dressed, yeah.
So you're healthy enough to dress.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and like, you could at least say, "Oh, limited in practice," or rest day, or whatever. There was no declaration of anything for him in that week. So everyone thought, myself included, all right, you're going back to, and so now there's been a little bit of kind of whispers of.
Yeah, it's good Nate's not on the show today because he would dominate this because we know how he feels. Let him play. Let him play. All the reps he can get. Let him play. But you're at a point right now where you can still salvage. I mean, there's not a lot to salvage. You're what, 3-3?
Yeah. A lot of season left.
I would almost go, hey,
11 games.
Let's put our best 5 out there. Let's sacrifice the reps right now until we get to a point where we feel like, okay,
and see,
we're done.
This is the
and
debate.
then put him back in.
This is the debate that I have. Is that the best 5?
Right. Yeah.
Right? Because
is Bass better than Guyton?
He's not. Like, no, I should say not Guyton, but like, because Tyler Smith at left guard is a first-team All-Pro, right?
At left tackle.
At left tackle, he's average.
Yeah.
He's okay. Mm-hmm. So how do I want to put this? TJ Bass to Tyler Smith is like this, in terms of skill set and domination and grading. But Tyler Smith to Tyler Guyton might be like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's like, is that the best 5?
Yeah.
Or putting Tyler Smith back at left guard, Tyler Guyton back at left tackle, and now I'm scheming, I'm helping, I'm chipping.
Yeah. It's easier to help on outside.
It's easy to help there, but at least I know that I don't have a hole anymore with Tyler Smith at left guard. And that also helps out Cooper Beebe, because to his left and to his right, he has Pro Bowlers, right? So he, information-wise, help-wise, twist-wise, all those things, he's better suited to have the help there because of the 2 players that are beside him. Yeah. And for Dak, the one place that you want to make sure is protected is that, and it's not just Dak, it's any quarterback. No quarterback wants to get the rush coming right down the middle. Like I can deal with it from the side. I can step up. I can manipulate it. But if it's coming right down the pike, then I'm screwed. So again, that's the conversation. Is Tyler Smith at left tackle, TJ Bass at left guard, the best 5, or is Guyton at left tackle, Tyler Smith at left guard, the best 5?
Yeah.
That's that's what I'm.
Sounds like it'd be Guyton out there
to me.
Yeah.
And even if it's if you're having to think about it that hard, it's probably best to let Guyton go to get the reps because you're kind of killing 2 birds with one stone.
And
right?
then I also fall into that same argument and I'll argue with Nate about this all the time is, Nate says let him get the reps, he'll get better. Well, not necessarily. Like more reps don't mean you magically get better.
But if you're going to get better, you're only going to get better through
with the
game
reps.
reps.
Yeah. Correct.
Right. Which, if you think about Tyler Smith's rookie year, at this point in the season, he might not be struggling as bad as Guyton, but the jury was kind of still out. Is he going to progress? And then as he played more and got more reps, he turned into what's probably going to be a Pro Bowler.
Inside the guard. So
that too.
Tackle that first year.
It's a very interesting. There's so much
curious.
Broken on this team.
I'm curious to see how this plays.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for the Cowboys offense. Tune in for the next segment, and we'll dedicate it directly to the 49ers defense when we come back for the last segment of Hanging with the Boys.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy classic wings, sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
This is Nate Newton from Hangin' with the Boys, and Wingstop is here to bring the flavor to game day as the official wings of the Dallas Cowboys. Order now by downloading the Wingstop app or ordering online at wingstop.com.
Hey, Cowboys Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Fall is here, and that means football is back, bringing all the delicious game day foods with it. As you prep for all the big games, tailgates, and watch parties, let Yo Quiero be your one-stop destination for all things home gating. Yo Quiero's fresh, flavorful, ready-to-serve guacamole, made with real Hass avocados, will score taste bud touchdowns as you cheer on the Cowboys. Yo Quiero's wide range of mouthwatering and versatile products can be found in your local grocery store's produce or deli section. Grab some today.
Hey, Cowboys fans, a 2024 football season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Cowboys football games or to any other live event, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
Back to Hangin' with the Boys.
Welcome back to the final segment of Hanging with the Boys, brought to you each and every day by Jigsaw, the proud dating partner of the Dallas Cowboys. All right, let's get into 49ers.
Let me say this.
Defense.
Just, and Chris brought this to my attention,
Yes.
but I want to make sure. Tyler Guyton was on the injury report, but he was full all week. I don't want that to come off as
with a knee, right?
Yeah, with the knee.
Yeah. Thanks for the fact
Yes.
check there, Chris.
Appreciate you, brother.
Don't want us being pulled off YouTube for misinformation.
And I definitely don't want to get that Derek text. Hey, Jess, you're done with the show. Come by my office. I'm going to talk to you about something.
So, Jesse, you've let it be known in past shows and past years that you think Fred Warner's probably the best linebacker in the league. Is he still got it?
If I die and I get to heaven and Jesus says,
You come back as a linebacker?
you can come back, but only as a football player. Who do you want to come
Really?
back
As a football player in
really?
general? Wow.
Fred Warner is poetry in motion to watch.
Wow.
Like he really is. Like I truly enjoy watching.
What is it you like about his game?
I love he is so knowledgeable. Like you can like the way that he directs traffic, the way that he gets through. He's a good tackler. He's a good cover. I mean, he's a green dot guy. Like he is just everywhere on the football field. I love watching. I'm a huge, and I'm an offensive guy. But to watch, if you're a football person, you enjoy watching. Like like Ray Lewis, right? Like I wasn't really into like studying other guys as I was coming up. You study your opponent you have to play, but I didn't get into studying Ray Lewis. But I'm sure if you went back and you watched Ray Lewis, you probably would. Those who watched it at that time thought he probably was, that guy. He was that guy.
Yeah.
But Fred is just so good, man. He's so. He's
the number one ranked linebacker right now.
Such a good football player.
I've seen him on a couple of interviews, and I really enjoy listening to him talk.
He's such a good football
He's
player.
smooth too.
But about this defense, you're looking at a 4-3 defense from the Niners. Now, this is to me, a computer. You may be on the computer. You may be on the computer. You might be right. Troy Vincent and company, they may be up there in the New York offices, and they may have it out for the Cowboys. Because I'll be damned if we don't have another top pass rusher that we got to deal with this week. I feel like we've seen them all, right? We've seen. We're now
Every
about
one
to,
of
we're, no, we're not, we're now about to see.
Look up the top pass rushers so far in the NFL.
We're about to see Nick Bosa. We've seen Aiden Hutchinson for half. We've seen Myles Garrett. We've seen some of the best pass rushers the game. T.J. Watt in Pittsburgh. We've seen some of the best that the game has to offer.
The top. This is Pro Football Focus. Number 1 is Hutchinson. 2 is Watt. Pittsburgh. Saw him. 3 is Mack. Haven't seen him. Then Garrett's 4th. Cleveland, Bosa coming up 5th. Herberg with Pittsburgh's 6th. So, yeah.
So
6 of the top 7.
Computer.
And we've only played 6 games.
Computer, you might be on to something, brother. I might let you back on for a call. Your theory might be coming true. But the Cowboys facing another top pass rusher in Nick Bosa. This defense is a little bit different than the defenses of the Niners pass. And the reason being, to me, this is like their third defensive coordinator. You know what I mean? Like
they keep getting hired.
They keep getting hired. All the defensive coordinators keep going other places and getting hired. And so the precision isn't there. They give up some plays. Now, what the Cowboys have to be able to do is identify when that play is given up and hit it.
Okay.
They give up some plays in the secondary. You watch all of their games, and at least 2 times, maybe 3, depending on who they're playing, a guy's running scot-free. Wow. In some of the games, they've hit him. And some of the games, I remember I was watching Seattle and DJ Metcalf. Someone didn't pick him up, and he's running straight down the middle of the field. Geno Smith was late getting the ball to him, incomplete. Would have been a touchdown. Could have changed the outcome of the game. You know, that game was a wonky game. Another play against the Cardinals, Kyler Murray RPOs, comes around the backside of the defense. Nobody's there to play him. Nobody. No, nobody's there. Like he's celebrating 7 yards into this run.
Oh yeah, at the 50 or the 40.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Yeah, he's like this. He's like celebrating, and just nobody covered him.
Wow.
So there's a number of plays like that you'll watch in this game where they're just not as pristine as they used to be. And that could be just new coordinators all the time, new players, and just trying to get everybody in play. I don't know if there was talks that they may have Dre Greenlaw back. He was the yin to Fred Warner's yang. He's been out for a while. And so there's talks that of course he wants to come back and play against the Cowboys. And talks that Dre Greenlaw may come back. That will help their defense. They got a good pass rush up front. Malik Collins is over there. Leonard Floyd's over there. Of course, Nick Bosa. They want to do some twists. The thing for the Cowboys, when I watch the Niners, if you just line up, which a lot of times the Cowboys do, you're not going to beat them. You're not good enough to just line up.
What do you have to do?
You got to motion, you got to move, you have to manipulate, I'm not so much all into trickery, because I think that's not sustainable.
Yeah.
Right? But you need to have a little bit of that in there too. Like there needs to be some misdirection.
Something they haven't seen before.
Just something that gets them moving. Right? Something that gets guys that have to pass it off. They have to cross each other. Something where their communication has to take on a sense of urgency.
Or something where you have to make the defense
think
for maybe half a second, pause and go, wait, I haven't seen this before.
Right. Like there was a play in the Seattle game where DK Metcalf he's running a basic shallow cross, right? And the other linebacker, Fred Warner's covering it, and then he passes it off to the middle linebacker. Well, the middle linebacker isn't ready for the pass off, and now 2 guys, because Fred Warner passed it off and goes and cover the back to his side. Well, that linebacker also went to cover the back to his side, didn't get the pass off. DK Metcalf catch a small little dump-off pass, turns it up the field for a big gain. You see a lot of times when you have to make them communicate through things that they miss the pass off. They miss the you got it now or any of that type of things. Or if you go in motion at the snap, if you're moving in motion at the snap, again, they have to do their recount. If you just line up, in my opinion, you're not good enough to beat this football team. Defensively, you're not good enough. You cannot just think that I'm going to line up and not motion and not do change of direction and not do things after post-snap, and you're going to beat this defense. You're not good enough. Your players aren't good enough. And Kirby Joseph said this a week or so ago with Detroit. He said we doubled Lamb and we're gonna live with everybody else.
Yeah.
That's what he said. He said our game plan was we're gonna double 88 and we'll deal with anybody else. They're good enough to single up 88.
Oh, 49ers are?
Yeah. They're good enough now he'll make some plays, but they're good enough to just say, hey, we'll single cover them and we'll just dominate somewhere else. You got to make those guys, and then if they decide to go ahead and double him, meaning CD, the other guys have to make plays. But this is where Michael from Pittsburgh has to step up in this particular game. You got to give guys some other options. What you have been doing, this defense will eat you alive if you just line up and if they don't change. And here, it's today's Wednesday.
Yes,
I'm predicting.
Ooh.
I'm predicting if you run either those double slants or you run those simple little Y option routes, Fred Warner's going to intercept the football. I'm telling you. He is too good at diagnosing. He is too good at reading reaction. And if you throw the same route underneath, he's going to pick it off. Either he's going to pick it off or he's going to get his hand in there and tip it up and someone else is going to pick it off. I'm predicting that on Wednesday. I saw it in many games where he was so close to getting them. And that's why I'm saying, like, you got to do something different than what you've done, because everything you've done has been absolutely predictable. And guys like Fred Warner, guys like this that's on this defense and around Fred Warner, especially if he gets Dre Greenlaw back, can't be predictable.
Which they said yesterday they won't have him back.
They won't have him back. Okay, well,
that's a plus.
That's a plus. That's a plus for the Cowboys.
Remember, he tore his Achilles in the Super Bowl in February.
Yep. Non-contact.
Right.
Running down the field.
And so I mean, this is a good football team. We know that. They're banged up a lot offensively. They lost one of their starting corners or starting safeties to a broken fibia a week or so ago.
One of the big bones,
he's Eric Cassidy was out of there. But the Cowboys can't be predictable.
So we'll leave you with as we ride off into the sunset today, we'll leave you with a stat that'll make you feel better about this San Fran defense and Cowboys offense. San Fran is tied for third in the most takeaways in the league with 13. Dallas is tied for fourth in most turnovers with 11. So there you go. That should be a great matchup. Kurt, thank you for the stats.
That wasn't positive news.
Jesse, thanks for the stuff. Nate, we missed you. Hopefully we see you tomorrow. Chris, thanks for keeping us on the air. Josh, Jazz, thanks for keeping him company. We'll be back tomorrow, my Friday. Mine and Nate's Friday. What are y'all going to do? Are y'all going to bring in a special guest?
Have some chicken.
We definitely going to have some chicken.
Are we going to have a special guest, Chris? You working on that? What are we doing on Friday?
Yeah, we're working on that.
All right. Working on that. Tune in tomorrow to see who the special guest is.
I might let computer call in on Friday.
Or not. Oh, computer. Whoop up on that punching bag. Get ready for Friday. Act
Never
like
mind.
it's Jesse.
I forgot about that punching bag video. You're not getting on now. No, it's not happening.
We will be back tomorrow. Hanging with the boys.
We out.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!